This is R.D. Sharma Solution Class 12, Chapter 13, Derivatives as a Rate Measure. Exercise is 13.3. If a particle moves in a straight line such that the distance traveled in time t is given by s equals to this. So s is the distance traveled, t is the time here. Find the initial velocity of the particle. Now this particle is traveling like this in the straight line. So this is the straight line movement and it is governed by this particular equation. So the initial velocity of the particle, when time will be equal to 0, that will be the initial velocity. So velocity by physics also, by natural way also we know, is the rate of change of distance. So s is the distance. So s is equal to t cube minus 6t square plus 9t plus 8. When you do ds by dt, that's the differentiation of s. That is going to be velocity. So this will be equal to the differentiation of s. Velocity is rate of change of distance. So let us just differentiate this and put t equal to 0. That will be your answer. So it will be 3t square minus 6 2t. So 12t plus 9. So whatever comes, as I said, you have to just put t equals to 0 because the initial velocity will be computed only when t equal to 0. So when you put t equal to 0, only 9 will remain and that 9 is the velocity at the initial point. That's the initial velocity. Now this is how you are going to write everything, and the units are very important. Since the unit is not given, but still you have to write certain things like 9 units by unit time. You don't know whether unit is kilometer or meter, and you don't know the time also, whether it is in second or hour, etc. But you need to write units divided by units time just to make sure that you know the things. The volume of a sphere is increasing at 3 cubic centimeter per second. So this is the volume V, and it is increasing, so it will be positive. And since we have centimeters per second or cubic centimeters per second, it is dV by dt. This is 3 centimeter cube per second. Find the rate of increase of the radius. So dr by dt is what we are going to compute and it is increasing. When the radius is 2, so r is equal to 2. So we have a volume. We know the volume of a sphere is 4 by 3 pi r cube. That is what we are going to write here. dV by dt is going to be the differentiation of this, and you know always that is 4 pi r square. You can just write it directly. So this is the differentiation. You have to differentiate r also. So dr by dt, 3 gets cancelled. You have dV by dt as 3, 4 by 3 pi, 3 into r square. R is 2. So that's it. That is 4 dr by dt. When you compute this, dr by dt is going to come as the value which is 3 by 16 pi centimeter per second. Since dv by dt is known, r is known, this is how you're going to compute this. So let me just write it just for the sake of completion. You don't write the answers. So 3 by 16 pi centimeter per second. You need to know the volume, otherwise it will be difficult to solve these kind of questions. The side of an equilateral triangle are increasing at the rate of 2 centimeter per second. Side of an equilateral triangle means all the sides are equal and all the angles are equal, which is equal to 60 degrees. So all the sides are equal. Let us call the side as x, and the increasing of the rate, that is side is increasing. So let us say this side is x and dx by dt is going to be 2 centimeter per second. Alright, dx by dt is 2 centimeter per second. So increasing is, you need to put plus, but there's no point putting the plus because everything is always plus. Centimeter per second you always have to write. Don't even ignore it. How far is the area increasing? When the side is 10 centimeters. Area is what? It's root 3 by 4 side square. We have assumed side as x. How far is the area increasing? So dA by dt we are going to do. Side is 10 centimeters. So d capital A by dt is root 3 by 4 2x dx by dt. So area increasing, root 3 by 4 2x dx by dt. X is 10, dx by dt I already told you, we know that it is 2. So there is just computation. dA by dt can be computed like this. So it will be 10 root 3. If you know the value of root 3, you can also put, but 10 root 3 centimeters square per second is enough for your completion of this question. The units are very important. If you don't write the unit, I will give you less marks. The side of a square is increasing at the rate of 0.1 centimeter per second. Now, square is the easiest shape. You know why? Because all the sides are equal. The side of the square is increasing, so the dx by dt is given as 0.1 centimeter per second. Find the rate of increase of its perimeter. What is the perimeter? Perimeter is simply the length of the side. You can add the length of the side and that is going to be the perimeter. If you walk around, the distance you have traveled around the boundary is nothing but the perimeter. Your house has a boundary. You compute the length, that is the perimeter. So perimeter is 4x here, dp by dt is going to be 4 dx by dt, increase of the perimeter, dp by dt, 4 dx by dt, dx by dt is known to us, which is 0.1 centimeter per second here, 4 into 0.1 is your answer, which is going to be 0.4, and as I said, don't forget about the unit. Okay, and this is the logic I told you. The way you have to write is right in front of you on the left side, you have to write like 0.4 centimeter per second. The radius of a circle is increasing at the rate of 0.5 centimeter per second. dr by dt is given to you, 0.5. Find the rate of increase of its circumference. What is the circumference here? Circumference of the radius is 2 pi r or pi into d. D is the diameter. So when you walk around through the periphery, compute the length, that is the perimeter, 2 pi r. So dc by dt we have to compute, it is 2 pi. This r will be dr by dt. So dr by dt is known to us. Just put it as 0.5 and this 0.5 is half only, so half and 2 gets cancelled and you'll get pi. And what is the unit? Tell me the unit. It's just distance. Circumference is just a distance. So it will be centimeter per second, and this is how you're going to write. You have to write exactly like this. This is the logic which I told you. Alright? Because whatever you write, because you might have things in your mind, but you have to put it on the paper, then only the examiner will know that you know how to solve this question. Okay? Examination is all about what you write on the paper, what you actually, because normal life, what you speak is your personality, but in paper, it's paper. The side of an equilateral triangle is increasing at the rate of 1/3 centimeter per second. Find the rate of increase of its perimeter. Again, equilateral triangle we are talking about. The perimeter is nothing but the addition of the length of the sides. So dx by dt is already given to us, 1/3 centimeter per second. Rate of increase of its perimeter, p is the perimeter, and perimeter is the sum of the side length. When you assume x, so it will be 3x. There are three sides which are equal. So perimeter is 3x, dp by dt will be equal to thrice of dx by dt. dx by dt is 3. See how tactful the person who made this question, because dx by dt they have given already as 1/3, so you can just cancel, and 1 centimeter per second is your answer. This is how you're going to write all these sentences. You have to put it on paper. Find the surface area of a sphere when its volume is changing at the rate as its radius. Surface area, you need to find out surface area is 4 pi r square. So you have to find out 4 pi r square. They are not asking about surface area rate change or whatever. Anything they are not asking, they are just asking what is the surface area. Let us assume it to be surface area S. We know it to be 4 pi r square. We already do. Now volume is the dv by dt, rate of change is equal to the rate of change of radius. So dv by dt and dr by dt is the precursor. They have already given the precondition. Volume we already know. Volume is 4/3 pi r cube, and differentiation of this we have done many times. It's 4 pi r square. So you can just write 4 pi r square, and you need to differentiate r also because we are differentiating with respect to time. So just this is 4 pi r square. Now, you need to find out 4 pi r square, isn't it? When you want to find out 4 pi r square, that means you have to eliminate dv by dt and dr by dt. Or you have to have the value of these two. But to our, not surprise, but it is evident that dv by dt and dr by dt is equal. So you can just cancel these two out. 4 pi r square is going to come as 1. So 4 pi r square is 1. That is your surface area. So they are asking about surface area. The surface area of a sphere is 1 square unit. Please write square unit because surface area will be in square units. Volume always, area always in square units, volume always in cubic units. If the rate of change of volume of a sphere is equal to the rate of change of its radius, that is the volume of the sphere, dv by dt is equal to the rate of change of its radius. So dv by dt is equal to dr by dt. Find the radius of the sphere. Radius of the sphere. Now you can just take volume 4/3 pi r cube, differentiate it, and wherever possible, either write dv by dt as dr by dt or dr by dt as dv by dt. So volume is 4/3 pi r cube. You already know how to differentiate it. It will be 4 pi r square dr by dt, and this comes because they are equal. So again, same thing comes. 4 pi r square is equal to 1. Okay, this is the repeat telecast of the earlier question. So here we have to find out the r, radius. So it will be 1/4 pi under root. This is going to be 1/2 root pi. What will be the unit? It is going to be units because we don't know any unit, just write units. So this is the way how you are going to write, which is shown or indicated on the left. Alright. The amount of pollution content added in a city due to X diesel vehicles. So there are X diesel vehicles. And the equation is given, that is how the pollution is related to the number of increasing or decreasing diesel vehicles, which is X. So if you add X, pollution will be higher. If you reduce X, pollution will be lower. And this condition or this equation is already given to us. This is px 0.00, I'll just write it, okay? So 0.005 x cube plus 0.02 x squared. There is one 0, okay? I have written one more 0, so there is just a mistake. Plus 30x. Find the marginal increase in the pollution content when 3 diesel vehicles are added and write which values is indicated in the above questions. So there is nothing in the question mainly, but the content being given is somewhat, you have to make an imagination out of it. Number of vehicles will increase the population. One more number of decrease of the vehicles will be decrement in the pollution. So dp by dx we have to find out. Just differentiate this. X cube will be 3x square will be 2x, and the x will be 1. So just write this. And since x is already given to the question, it's x equals 3. So whatever is coming, what I'm writing, I'm just writing after the multiplication. 3 into 0.005 is 0.015. But other things also already well. X is 3, just put x as 3, just put x as 0.015 into 3 square, that is 9. 0.04 into 3 plus 30. So you will get 30.255. Now, this is a pollution. We don't know the units, so just write units. So this indicates the pollution level due to X diesel vehicles. Diesel vehicle or the petrol vehicle, whenever it is pollution. A ladder 5 meters long, standing on a horizontal floor, leans against a vertical wall. So this is a ladder 5 meters long, and you know the scenario, and leans against a vertical wall. If the top of the ladder slides downwards at the rate of 10 centimeters per second. So it is sliding. Now the angle is theta. The theta will be lesser when it goes down. So the rate of top of the ladder sliding downwards is 10 centimeters per second. Then find the rate at which the angle between the floor and the ladder is decreasing. This theta, d theta, rate of change of theta we have to find out. Main thing is this. Okay, but rate is since 10 centimeters per second is already there, so we'll find out d theta by dt. When the lower end of the ladder is 2 meters from the wall. Now I said meters centimeters, so that is the main catch here. The thing is, we can always use the Pythagoras theorem, but we are talking about angle here. So we have to use the angle relationship with your values being provided in the question. How are we going to do that? One is given in 5 meters, one is given is 2 meters, one is given is 10 centimeters per second. First of all, we have to convert all the unit in one. Either convert 5 meter into centimeter or convert 10 centimeter into meter. But 10 centimeter, if I convert, I have to divide it by 100. That will be something 0.01 the kind of thing. I don't want that. So let us change the 5 meter into centimeter. It will be 500. 2 meter as 200. Okay, 500, 200 we have. So Pandit Badri Prasad Har Bol. That is how we learn. First is sine, second is cos, third is tan. You can use any angle you want. It's up to you. Just remember, when the ladder goes down, the angle is going to decrease. So the answer will come in negative. That is the only thing, right? Now, sine theta is what? Perpendicular upon hypotenuse. Perpendicular is what? This is. Assume it to be y, this to be x. Sine theta is y by 500, perpendicular upon hypotenuse. Hypotenuse is 500, the ladder length. What is the differentiation? Sine theta will be cos theta. Differentiation of y will be dy by dt. I am differentiating this. Sine theta equals to y by 500. So this is cos theta d theta by dt, because we are differentiating with respect to t, not with respect to theta. So d theta by dt is equal to dy by dt, and 1 by 500 will remain like. Now, in order to find out d theta by dt, you need y. How are you going to get y? You can get it because it is already given 2 meters. X is already given. You can find out y. How? Now here we are going to use the values which are being provided. I'm saying, see, dy by dt is already given. 10 centimeters per second. It's already given. 2 meters is also given. Alright? So dy by dt is 10 by 500 cos theta, d theta by dt, 1 by 500, d theta by dt we have to find out. So now we are not stuck. We need to have cos theta also. So cos theta is what? It is base upon hypotenuse. But again, base is given to us. See, this is how we are going to do. Cos theta, you can put d theta by dt in the denominator. D theta by dt can be computed with left. You need the cos theta actually. Cos theta is based upon hypotenuse. Again, Pandit Badri Prasad Har Bol. Okay. Based upon hypotenuse. Base is already given in the question, which is 2. And we will use 200 because we have converted everything into centimeter, right? So 200 divided by 500 is your cos theta. So rather than using cos theta, you can just replace it by 200 by 500. 2 meters. Okay. This x is 2 meter, 200 by 500 cos theta. Now d theta by dt can be computed easily. So this is cos theta, 200 by 500. D theta by dt we need to compute. This is 10 by 500. You can cancel these two. D theta by dt will be 10 by 200. This gets cancelled, 1 by 20. Now you will get it in negative. It will be negative. You don't want to write negative. It's up to you. You can just write the angle between the floor and the ladder is decreasing at the rate of 1 by 20 radian per second. Why? You don't have to write negative. You can just write, if you have written decreasing, negative is not required. If you're not written decreasing, you just want to put it in the numbers, it has to be followed by a negative number because it is increasing. You just imagine that when the ladder goes down, the angle is going to decrease. And we have followed a convention that whenever things decrement or increment will happen, it will be negative and positive respectively. Increasing, right? Okay guys, thank you so much. This is all about this exercise. Take care of yourself.